Oh, hi, I'm me, you're you, and this is my witty bitty life. Welcome back, everyone. We are in June, so I'm doing a series about parenting. So I thought, what better way to talk about this than to start with what made me a parent. So we are going to jump into adoption, and oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I got to take it down a notch. Okay, we're going to talk about adoption, and I'm giving you 5 things that you need to know about the adoption process. If you are in it, or if you have a friend or a family member going through it, just 5 things that you should know about adoption. So, here we go. Okay, wasn't my little intro clever? Anyways, this point is about faith, or finding faith and having hope in the adoption process is so important. And because there isn't a whole lot of glow during the process unless you're talking about the white light that is reflecting back onto your face from all of the mounds of paperwork that you're doing. That is a beautiful reflective glow. But it's really long. And so as a person of faith, I found a lot of just peace and comfort and help in a specific Bible verse. And it was, I felt like God kind of laid this on my heart when we were actually trying for biological kids. And then when we had, when we jumped into the adoption process, it was like this verse popped back up, and it just had such new meaning and strength. And I was like, oh yeah, I can get behind this. So the verse was Ephesians 3:20, and because I am a Bible scholar, I will just go ahead and paraphrase it for you. It says, he is able to do more, he is able to do immeasurably more than all we asked or imagined. And that is just so true for me for adoption. When I think about what it takes for a person to carry a baby for you for 9 months and then give that child to you, and like the selflessness that takes, and just the amazing, like, that is so much bigger than me. That is so much bigger than what I think humans in our nature are capable of. I definitely think that is just such a gift from God. So that verse, we actually pulled our son's name from as well. So it could give him a complex later on in life. Like, I'm pretty sure it will. Because the he is able, yeah, that's talking about God. And so we named our son Abel, saying God is able. Yikes, he's gonna have a complex. All right, so adoption advice. Piece number 2, when you're in the process, just making sure that you and your spouse are on the same page with things. And I feel really lucky because for us, anytime we came to a crossroads or a turning point or any other like road system thing in the map of adoption, beep, 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 Andy and I were just always on the same page. And so whether it was like what agency we're going to use to pursue adoption, how much we wanted to put ourselves out there for fundraising efforts, you know, like really all of the big decisions that came our way, Andy and I just would automatically be on the same page. And I think that was so huge because, and I didn't realize it in the moment, but then talking to other people who were like, yeah, we don't want to pursue adoption, but you know, my husband just doesn't want to because he wants to have his own kids. I was like, whoa, that's how your husband thinks about adoption? You guys never should pursue adoption. No, you should, but you should like talk about it first and realize that adoption means that you're having your own kids. But just crazy stuff like that, where you just need to make sure that you and your husband are on the same page. My third piece of advice is just making sure that you are engaged with community when you start the adoption process, because you really want to have someone in your life who has already done a successful adoption, so that you can just have someone to kind of commiserate with you at times, because there are moments that you are going to need to say, this sucks, I don't want to wait, or this is terrible, or I'm so excited, or you need someone who's been in the process, whether that's one couple, one person, or a whole group of people that can really build you up. Community is essential in the adoption process, and I believe it'll also be essential for your child once they are in your family as well, because they're going to want to know some other kids who have been adopted too. And so just make friends with other adoptive families. It's cool. We're cool. Abel's going to be embarrassed of this. So you probably already know that adoption costs a lot of money if you're in the adoption process, or if you've looked into it, or if you have a friend who's fundraised for it, whatever the cause. And so we could talk a lot about whether that's right, whether that's wrong, whether it's fair, etc., etc. In fact, if you want me to do a whole vlog, whatever this is, video thing on how I feel about the money that you spend in adoption, you can comment below. I'll probably do it whether you comment or not, whatever. But here's just my encouragement in this moment, is that if you just keep taking steps on that long adoption road that you were on, everyone's path is different. There's a lot of ways that will give you the end result of a sweet child in your arms. But the money will come, and just don't focus on the money piece being the thing that stops you from adoption or the thing that frustrates you in the process. Just continue to look past it and have faith and hope in what the end result will be. And I am positive that money will start to show up in little ways. So that's my encouragement. And so for my 5th piece of advice for 5 pieces of adoption wisdom to get you through the process is just to remain open and flexible when you are in the process, because you might go into it thinking that you want a domestic baby adoption and the baby is going to be a boy and you want no contact with the birth parents or whatever it is that you want. And you're going to get into it and you're going to learn that adoption is a lot about relationships. It's about the relationships that you have with your consultant or your adoption agency. It's about the relationship that you might build with the child's birth family or not build with their birth family. And in all relationships, you don't get to decide everything, because it's always at least 2 ways. And so just maintain an openness and a flexibility, and I think you'll be really surprised by the family you create and very happy by it, I hope. So anyways, that's my little adoption spiel. I'm so glad you guys tuned in today, and tune in tomorrow if you want to hear more. Okay, that's a terrible way to end. I'm gonna end this way. Okay, bye.